What's up, horror fam? I'm Travis Brown, and this is The Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. You can find me at HMUNCUT. Don't forget to follow us for all your horror news, updates, and so much more. Today, we've got a Stephen King classic heading to Netflix, a buzzy horror pick from Sundance and South by Southwest getting distribution, and Top Dog Entertainment Films jumping into horror with a new sci-fi twist. Let's get into it. All right, first up, Stephen King's Cujo is getting a brand new adaptation at Netflix. The horror legend's rabbit Saint Bernard is set to terrorize a new generation, with Roy Lee producing and writers being brought on board immediately. The original 1981 novel was first adapted into a cult classic 1983 film starring Dee Wallace, where a mother and her son are trapped in a broken down car, facing off against a once friendly but now rabid 200-pound Saint Bernard, that be Cujo. King's works continue to dominate with upcoming adaptations including The Lone Walk, The Running Man, and The Institute, how many things with the, plus the highly anticipated prequel to It, Welcome to Derry. So, horror fans, do we need a new Cujo remake, or should Netflix let sleeping dogs lie? Let us know what you think in the comments. Next up, acquisitions from Sundance and South by Southwest have been slow, but today we got a deal. Cartoona and Dweck Productions have acquired Grace Glocki's thriller Dead Lover for North American distribution. The film follows a lonely gravedigger who reeks of corpses. When she finally meets her dream man, tragedy strikes and he drowns at sea. But instead of mourning, she turns to madcap scientific experiments to bring him back with grave consequences. Dead Lover is set for a theatrical release, but no date has been announced yet. With its darkly comedic and twisted premise, this one could be a breakout indie horror hit. So, are you into Frankenstein love stories, or is this a romance you'd rather not resurrect? Let us know what you think in the comments. And finally, Top Dog Entertainment, the powerhouse label behind Kendrick Lamar and Schoolboy Q, is making the jump into filmmaking with TDE Films. Their first project, a high-concept urban action horror film called The Zone, directed by Dallas Jackson. Jackson, known for Netflix thriller and Hulu's The System, teams up with David Hayter, the writer behind X-Men, Watchmen, and The Scorpion King, for a film acquired by 20th Century Studios. Plot details are under wraps, but with TDE's influence, a major studio backing, and a sci-fi twist, this could be a game changer for genre films. So, will Top Dog Entertainment's horror venture strike gold, or should they stick to music? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Today's take. Today's stories all touch on big moves in horror, from legacy adaptations like Cujo, to indie breakouts like Dead Lover, and a major music label betting on horror with The Zone. This feels like a turning point for horror. We're seeing the biggest studios embrace horror movies more than ever, while indie films still prove they can shake up the genre in unique ways. The question is, where do you see the future of horror? Are we headed towards more major studio horrors like Cujo, or do films like Dead Lover prove that indie horror is where the real magic happens? Hit me up at HMUNCUT and let me know your thoughts. And as always, if you're listening to us on Spotify, thank you. Hit that subscribe and answer today's poll. That's it for today's episode of The Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. Let me know your thoughts. Are you ready for Cujo reboot? Does Dead Lover sound like your kind of horror? And is The Zone about to take over? Make sure to follow me at HMUNCUT for all the horror news and updates. If you're watching on YouTube, click that bell, hit that notify. Make sure to give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. It does so much for the channel. We'll be back tomorrow with more updates. But until then, you guys know the deal. Keep the lights on.